Let's get it. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be taking a look at the market cycle as a whole, doing a market overview, and then taking a look at this important weekly close that we've got coming up tonight in just a few hours. There will also be a little surprise for you guys at the end of this video, so make sure that you stick around till then. Let's go. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Cabin. My name is Tom, and in today's video we're going to be doing a Bitcoin market overview, talking about this important weekly close, and I'll be giving you guys a little bit of a surprise at the end of this video, a bonus for sticking around. If you're new to the channel, please scroll on down, leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, then click the notification bell and select all so you get notified for when I post these time-sensitive updates. So, without any further ado, let's jump right in. Let's first talk about the weekly close for Bitcoin that we have coming up here. So at time of recording, the weekly close is going to be in just a few hours here, and by the time this is uploaded, it'll be even less. So a couple levels that we need to watch out for, in my opinion, are these kind of white horizontal lines that I've got laid out here. So this first one is just under 60K. So this has been resistance turning into support, hopefully, from before. So if we go back all the way to back here, this was a couple peaks here. We got rejected off of it a couple times back there, just below 60K. Then the next one down here is that next peak, which is right at about 58.6-ish. So we've got this big run up that we had before. We're now coming back down, and hopefully we're finding some support around this level just under 60K. So 59.8, 59.9, somewhere in there. We would like to see that hold as support ideally, and then that would be a new level, a new solid level, and then we could hopefully continue back up from there. We have gotten the RSI coming back down a little bit, which is good. We were on a big run up. We did need to cool off a little bit, in my opinion, like I've been calling for a long time, or in my last few videos. We do need a bit of a pullback. I said best case scenario, we pull back to the high 50s, and then lowest, worst case scenario to remain bullish would potentially be a pullback all the way down into the high 40s. This one to me is still way less likely in the high 40s. I do still see this high 50s area as being the level where we can hopefully form a really good layer of support and then bounce off that and head on higher. Currently, depending on which exchange you look at, we are sitting at around 60,300, so we are still above that. However, we'll need to see how the rest of this day plays out and see if we hold those levels. Let's take a look at the market cycle overall. So this is a pretty detailed chart that I've got up here with a few different numbers written on it. I'll try to explain what they mean and what I can see coming up here in the next few months. So the first lines here, the blue lines here is the halving, so the dates of the halving. The red line is when we met the cycle top. So as you can see, we have gone 367 days from the first halving to the next peak. The second cycle, we went from 526 days from the halving to the peak, and so we were 1.433 times as long. So if we are to continue that trend, we could potentially see this cycle extend out into Q2 of 2022. This obviously depends a lot, though, on where Bitcoin's price is at the end of this year. I still think the first target to look for, the first time of year to look for, I should say, was going to be the end of this year. There's always been a lot of hype around end of the year. The first cycle top here in 2013 was right at the end of the year, end of November. Then we had a cycle peak in mid-December in 2017, and so that does seem to be when the peaks have happened in the past after the halving. However, we are also lengthening. So there's kind of two scenarios that I'm watching out for here, and obviously January or December and January come before May. So we're going to go with the theory for now and keep that in the back of our minds until Q1, Q2 comes around, depending on where Bitcoin's price is at those times. So if we were to continue all the way out here, let's say it happens the peak happens at the end of 2021 here, before the end of the year. This little box is the area that I have targeted for our peak. So it's right at the 2.618 fib level, and it would be before the end of the year, right around $188,000 for Bitcoin. If we do extend out, we could also see us reaching up to the 250, 287, and potentially this very top here where the next peak would be, depending based on the lengthening 1.44 or 1.433 times as long. It would bring us all the way out to here, potentially, like I said, to the end of May or beginning of June even. So that, I mean, depends on Bitcoin's price, of course, but that peak there is up almost near 400,000, which would be extremely high. So what I'm trying to say is the longer that this cycle extends out, the higher Bitcoin appears that it could go. However, we need to keep a look at where the price is at certain points in time along the way. So if we do see Bitcoin in this box range here by the time we get to the end of the year, then that could be the cycle top. If it's not there, if we're still way below that, then it could extend out further, right? So we just need to take it day by day, as we always do, week by week, and check back in on things and see how things are progressing. So here's one thing that we do also need to take into consideration. Again, as I've mentioned many times before, checking out the Bitcoin search term, the trends in regards to that is always important to check out because it's been reflective of the market cycle peaks in the past as well. I'm going to talk a lot about different charts that you guys can look at here, but this is one of them, search trends. We are starting to go pretty parabolic in these search trends. It's not nearly as high in regards to search volume as we have been in the past, but this would be something to keep an eye on as well. We have started to go up parabolic in the last couple weeks here. We still have a long way to go. We are only at 39% of the search volume that there was back in the 2017 peak. Just keep an eye on this. We still do have more room to go though, so don't get too worked up just yet. At least I'm not. We've also got this. This came back down quite a bit. So last week we were at 79. We're down to 73. We're still in the greed zone, but this could correct down if we do, like I said, break down through the 60K mark or just under the 60K mark, or even if we trend sideways for a while at the 60K mark, we could slowly start to work our way back down. So we are trending back towards the, not exactly fear, but we're trending more towards that side of the fear and greed index. Then there are a lot of other things to look at, a lot of other charts that we can check out. So come over to lookintobitcoin.com. And these are going to be some charts that have helped to let us know what the market cycle peak is looking like or has looked like in the past. So the first one, I don't know if you say Puel or the Puel multiple, but this chart here we can see that when we get into the red box, we are definitely nearing peak mode. And when we're down here in the green, this would be a really, really good time to buy typically. So once in the red here, this was the market cycle peak, technically the first cycle back in 2011, and then we had that double top cycle in 2013. So we had it shoot up into the red there, would have been a good time to sell. We had it shoot up into the red there again, that marked the top. Then in 2017, we also saw it shoot up into the red, and that marked the top as well. What would be interesting to note here is that this is kind of trending downwards, right? Hopefully you can see that angle from the first cycle to the second peak technically. These were technically the same cycle, but the peaks here, we went a little really high, shot up all the way through the red, and then we now have a little lower one, a little lower one, a little lower one. So we could potentially barely come up into the red here at some point, and that could spark the top as well. As more time goes on, we get more and more indicators that I think more and more people are looking at. And so as soon as one of them flashes, it's very likely that people could potentially be looking at that one and take profits right there. So another one that we talked about is the pi cycle top indicator. So this is the only one that was flashing that it was signaling a top of all of these from before. This one wasn't quite there. We got close, but we weren't quite there. The pi cycle top indicator did indicate a top, and then we did come back down 50% for Bitcoin. None of these other ones marked that. So again, here we got close into the red, we didn't quite touch it. Relative strength index, we got really, really close to the red, didn't quite touch it. Reserve risk, we didn't really get that close at all, actually. So none of the other indicators that most people usually look at were indicating that, other than the pi cycle top indicator. But basically what I'm trying to say here is that there's more and more indicators coming out that more and more people are looking at, and I think we need to be aware of all of these things so that we can make an informed decision as to when it would make sense to start taking out some profits. But I do still see a lot more length to go here in this cycle. If you look at the pi cycle chart, we've reset. We are way below. Once this orange line comes back up and gets closer to the green line, then we need to start paying attention there. Like I said, the Paul multiple is well below. MVRV Z-score, well below. Relative unrealized profit and loss, also well below. We aren't even in greed mode yet, technically, according to this. And a lot of people say, oh, well, we're back here in denial, which, yes, we technically are, but the price is actually higher than where it was before. Whereas before, in previous cycles, we got up, touched euphoria. When we get back down into denial, the price is way, way lower. Then we've got the reserve risk, which I said before has not even come close either. With this one, we also have diminishing peaks as well. So as we get closer up to this red box there, make sure that we keep an eye on that one as well. For all of these ones that we just talked about there, go to lookintobitcoin.com. Here, I'll go to the home page so you guys can see. Go here. These are free, easy to access. Click on Bitcoin charts and you'll get all of these market cycle charts. You can take a look at multiple things. Tons of information on here, which is absolutely awesome. This one I forgot to show you guys earlier too. This is a really good one. It's a 2-year moving average multiplier. And if you ever want to know exactly what these all mean, scroll down. It talks about an overview, why this happens, who created it, when it was created, all that stuff. So you can see here there's the red line up top, green line down at the bottom. Whenever we get above the red line, we are in sell mode. Whenever we get down below the green line, that would be one of the best times to buy. Right now we are kind of right in the middle, not near the top, not near the bottom. So again, more data points showing to the fact that we have a lot longer to go in this market cycle based on everything that we are looking at right now. So let's come back to here and just reiterate that depending on where Bitcoin's price is at certain points in time could indicate cycle tops. We also have all these other indicators that we can look at that could indicate cycle tops as well. So just because we hit a certain price doesn't mean that it is the exact top. Nobody knows when that's going to be. If anybody is telling you when it's going to happen, at exactly what price, on exactly what day, it's not going to happen. I know I've been putting a lot more pricing targets on TikTok, so if you aren't following me over there, go join us over there. But those pricing targets are part of my take profit strategy, or if I don't own those projects or coins or tokens, it would be part of my take profit strategy if that were me. So they are not exact targets for like where the peak is going to actually happen. What I'm doing is using these fib extensions as part of my overall analysis of everything going on. So that is what the little surprise is for you guys at the end here. So I want to share this with everybody. I'll link this in the description down below. I'll explain it here, and then this is going to be a live document that I edit and change as we go along. But this is my personal take profit strategy. Obviously, come up with your own, make up your own, whatever you want to do. Get your own data points, formulate your own exit strategy, but this is what I am going to be doing here. So this is my portfolio over here. These are all the coins that I own, just so you know when I talk about all the coins and stuff, or projects, or tokens. I know there's different names. I just am trying to lump them all in one. So these are my coins. You can see what my portfolio is. These are tokens or coins that have been asked of me in the comments. So I'm trying to get through as many as I can and do a little bit of analysis on them. And you guys can use this if you want to, make your own if you want to, that's totally fine. But these would be the ranges that I would be taking out some profits. Number one here, I've got sell 10% at target 1. As you can see, sell 15 at target 2, 20 at target 3, 25% at target 4. Always keeping a little extra on the side in case we shoot higher once we have that dollar cost average out. And always, 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 this is my personal thing, you can do whatever you want to do, but I am never going to sell out 100% of my portfolio. This 10, 15, 20, 25 leaves me about 40 to 50% of my portfolio. That means I'm selling 50 to 60% of my portfolio, so I'll always have a little bit left in case we shoot higher, and always having that moon bag. So how this is working, I know I've got some color in here. Basically the yellow just means that I've already posted it to TikTok, and the other numbers I haven't posted yet, or the projects I haven't posted yet. So I will get to posting them as best I can, but here is a sheet that is going to be live, and I'm going to be editing it. Keep in mind, I'm probably going to be paying attention to the tokens and coins that I own more so than these ones. So take it with a grain of salt. These are just the numbers based on a little bit of technical analysis that I have come up with, and if it were me, these are the prices that I would be taking some profits at. Of course, like I said, everybody needs to come up with their own exit strategy. You're responsible for your own financial decisions. This is not financial advice, just entertainment, and hopefully a little bit of an extra value add. Take this and mix it with whatever other analysis you are personally doing, but I wanted to give you guys a little extra resource, and hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and if you stuck all the way around to the end and haven't done so yet, please scroll on down, give the video a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, select all so you get notified when I post these new videos, and I will see you next time on the next episode from the Crypto Cabin. Let's get it.